What up, everybody? Good morning, good night, good evening. Today, on this 6th of November, on Monday, there's a lot of noise. It's never this noisy this early, but nonetheless, what's going on, everybody? Today, we are going to be discussing. Today, we're going to be discussing how to plan out your work and what's stopping you from continuing. Before that, I feel like I cannot talk about this without speaking of why we are obsessed with proving ourselves right. When we don't believe in ourselves, we make sure that we're right about that, right? Let me give you an example. If I know, right, because I don't believe in myself that I'm not going to win a grant for $500,000 tonight, let's say, I will convince myself that it's okay if it doesn't happen in a way that will actually not let it happen so that I can be right. And it really comes from having to fight for, in general, anybody for being right. When we convince ourselves that, I forgot to put my timer, when we convince ourselves that, oh, I'm not going to get that. Oh, that's all right. It's all right if it doesn't happen. We are shielding ourselves of the pain, right? The pain of the memory of being wrong and being told that we're wrong. And not only being told that we're wrong, but even being told that we're wrong when we are right. If I can get personal with y'all, right? When I think I've discussed in my childhood, things were celebrated when I did big things, right? I was celebrated when I did big things. When I got an A, which it would surprise some people today because I'm a big nerd, but back then my grades were terrible. Well, it wouldn't really surprise anybody. I'm from the hood, right? Nobody really made sure that I was learning anything, but I only got uh, you know a, a round of applause when I did big things. And so when I wanted to do small things, I um I would be like, oh no, it's not really gonna it's okay if it doesn't happen. My love coach says frequently, often, that we are as people, we have become more accustomed to wanting to be right than we are wanting to be happy. She'll say, we want to be right more times than we want to be happy. Because if you wanted to be happy, you would say, no, I'm getting those 500 grand, right? I'm winning that grant. But because there is a chance that you might not win, you put yourself in that headspace where it's like, well, let me start preparing myself in case I do lose, because I would rather be right than be happy. My love coach is great. If you don't follow Dear Franny, DearFranny, she's amazing because she's more than a love coach. She is also a manifestation coach. And that word could be a trigger or a buzzword. But manifestation is just, it's the same as prayer. It's the same as wishing. It's the same as thinking you're a wizard. Manifestation is the connection between you and the conversation that's always happening around you, right? In this universe. The conversation that exists. It exists. Because we are of the same thing, right? We are of atoms. We are of energy. We are of vibrations. right? And it's not being cliche and I don't like to use the word woo woo. When people say, "Oh, I'm woo woo," like, why would you refer to yourself? Anyways, vibration is not this woo woo thing. Vibration is actually what is happening, right? There's vibration. That's why we can touch things and see things. Things exist because they're vibrating. That's not a that's not a myth. Things are vibrating all the time, and we exist as vibrations. Let's think about it literally, and I really want to get you in this headspace right now. Think about it literally. Things are vibrating all the time, for real. It's not this like spiritual saying to say vibration. I want to re-hijack that because there's some terms that are so overused that we erase their meaning after some time, right? They're so overused that we erase the meaning after some time. Things are vibrating all the time. That means that we are also communicating with each thing's vibration and even your thoughts, right? There's no, now this is where it gets a little spiritual, right? Because I can't prove to you that thoughts are vibrating. But how many times have you thought about somebody and they called you? Or, when has, I'm sure you've had that moment where you were thinking about somebody and they text you or something, you hear some news about that person. It's not a coincidence. And the more that we brush things off as coincidences, the less we're acting like scientists. Scientists' roles are to look at things, experiment, and to jot down, to take note of the evidence of the proof that we have afterwards, right? That's what scientists do. They test things out. They say, I don't know. They test it out. They record the process. They record the results, right? Why can't we think of that as evidence as well? So, all that to say, there's a constant conversation happening between you and the universe. Okay? And if you believe that you're not going to win these 500 grand, there's a big chance you're not going to win it, right? There's a big chance you're not going to win it. Belief is a big, big, big role for us artists. The act of believing is important for artists. One, because in this day and age, while there are creators, terms coined by social media, actual artists, and I don't want to say people who aren't, I don't want to say those aren't actual artists, right? Everyone's an artist. But artists outside of social media content, those who create outside of social media content, we aren't yet, and soon we are, but we aren't yet valued for what we really bring to this world, to the table. We entertain, we solve problems, we question things that governments and people dare not to question. We have such a big role in society. One day, everyone will see that, like they did back then. Once upon a time in many other societies, artists were godly. Those who worked in theater, those who painted. You look at the Michelangelos and so on and so forth, right? Although, yeah, although they weren't in the best headspace, some of them, a lot of artists were. There's evidence that a lot of artists were a lot of drinkers, big drinkers, and so on and so forth, but they were very important to society nonetheless, right? Very important to society nonetheless. You are very important to society. You who are listening to this. You must keep going because you are so important and people need what you have. People need what you have to create. You make this world so much a better place. You make this world what it is, not even a better place. You make this world what it is with your entertainment, with your questions, with your solutions, with your other ways of looking at things, with the way that your art tells other people, that there's more than one way to live, with the way that your art soothes other people. You are a vital part in society. So you must believe so. You have to believe it before everybody else. You have to. Or else you can't move forward with the actual art. If you don't believe in it, you're going to keep convincing yourself that it's not important. You're going to keep putting it off for another day. You're going to be afraid of taking leaps. You're going to be afraid of doing things you've never done before because you don't believe in yourself. This is not the moment to not believe in yourself. This is the moment to be the most Delulu you've ever been. Now is the time to be the most Delulu about your work that you've ever been. Because it has to manifest. It has to happen. You got to make it. You have to make it. There is no other choice. And I know that I've told you that if you don't manifest, the whispers that God is whispering into your ears, the whispers that Spirit is whispering in your ears, if you don't manifest those creations, that they'll give them to somebody else. And yes, that's a fact. Spirit will give your ideas to other people, but Spirit will also, in a way, torture you and remind you every single day that there is something else that you have to create. So you might as well do it. You might as well do it. Do it scared, right? That's been the theme, right? That's the thing that people say now, do it scared. But above all, just do it. Don't even think about the fear. There are too many reasons why you shouldn't succeed. Give these people a good reason why you should. Too many reasons as to why you shouldn't make it. Give these people a reason as to why you should. Do it and do it big. Do it and do it big. Okay? All right. So, how do you do it? You're still not out of this headspace, I feel. I feel like you're listening to this and you're still not out of that headspace. I'm going to let that one breathe. I'm going to let that last point breathe. It does you no good to not believe in yourself. You get no prize for not winning. You get no prize for being right about your failure. You get no prize. The only prize that you'll get is to side with your haters. Your haters ain't rooting for you right now. And when you don't make it, you just side with them. Why would you want that? Well, I would hate to side with my haters. I mean, and I got haters, and I was once delusional about that. I thought I didn't have haters because I'm like, I'm such a nice, why would, no, I have haters. I've had haters since I was born. There's some people that we are forgetting were our haters, right? We're forgetting the way people treated us. We're forgetting those people who were not kind to us when they could have been, right? Why would you want to side with your haters? Go out there, believe in yourself, fuck them, side with yourself this time around, and show the world that you create and manifest that thing. Only you can make it. You understand that? Only you can create what you are creating. There's nobody else that can make that thing that you're thinking of. There's no one else who can do it like you, right? Maybe I keep saying coffee shop. Let's say I want to make a coffee shop. Maybe somebody else made a coffee shop, but nobody can do it like me. Nobody can create that peace that you have in your mind like you. Nobody. Nobody. So you have to do it. You have to do it. Whatever it takes, you have to do it. I don't want to hear no more of this pity party shit. All right, y'all? I'm not with the bullshit anymore. This shit ends now. Okay? We're in the last 7 weeks. The first 9 weeks were very smooth, very introspective, but right now we're done with the bullshit. From now to December, I want to see you actually make something. From now to the end of the program, I want to see you make something. Whatever that whisper is in your ear, I want to see you actually make it. Hey, B, it's done. I did it. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself enough to do it. Stop siding with your haters. Stop siding with your haters. It's not going to do you any good. You're not protecting yourself from anything. All right? I'm actually going to leave it at that on today. I love y'all. I can't wait to see what you make. All right? Peace.